I'm Kronicz, and this is Mocha Bane from the most extreme wrestling. And today, we're going to be talking about WWE 14 and what we think should be on the game.
Man.
Now, I know the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get WWE 14, and you're going to go and buy you an Xbox One and the game. You're going to pay all these subscription fees, log in every 24
PS4.
hours.
I might get the game on Xbox 360, but going on...
Because you are an Xbox 360 person, I'm PS3.
Yeah, but after E3, gotta go with the PS4. It's the only way to go.
So, I don't know. I got some concerns about this new game that's coming out, because it's not THQ anymore. THQ's been making this series since 1999. My favorite series of games, longest set of games, I got each and every single one of those games, PS1, PS2, PS3, and eventually PS4.
No, I'm actually excited about the change. Mainly, 2K Sports is going to be making a game. I love what they've done with NBA 2K. I mean, it's one of the best basketball game franchises on earth. And so I'm actually, excited.
I mean, that started back on, Dreamcast, right?
Yeah.
That was like a big deal.
I mean, so I'm actually excited to see what they're going to do with a wrestling game. Now, I know that the baseball games aren't all that great, but I'm actually, from what I've been hearing, they retained a lot of the staff at THQ. So
yeah.
Corey Ledesma's still heading up a lot of the project over there. I'm kind of interested to see, because one thing that they've been known for with the NBA 2K franchise are a lot of live updates that they have. So I wonder, will they bring that to a wrestling game?
Like have the same kind of updates? Because on WWE 13, we don't really get that many updates unless we pay for them. And even then, don't get like a whole lot of roster. It's like you kind of get the game and you're kind of stuck with whoever was in WWE 6 months ago.
Yeah. And I think, that's one thing if they do incorporate live updates. So this is wishful thinking once again. I think we're still going to have a lot of downloadable content, DLC. It'd be cool to say, all right, like Michael McGillicuddy's Curtis Axel, I can put on my game. I can update it via Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and now all of a sudden he's Curtis Axel.
Yeah, see, that's one thing that bothers me. It's like, why can't they just do an update? Because it's not like they got to change a lot. They, maybe add a beard or change a name, change an entrance video. That's not going to cost that much money. I mean, really. You know what I mean? And it just kind of sucks because you don't really get like a whole bunch of updates. And for instance, on the attires, on your Creator Wrestler and the hair and everything. In a lot of other games, you can have more updates where they'll let you get stuff or unlock more things, but it's like the Creator Wrestler, it's cool, but a lot of that stuff has been in there for years.
Yeah, it's time. I think it's a fresh look for the 2K series, and I think it'll be a good move. Now, one thing, there are actually a lot of things I would like to see in this game. The first would be, I would say, the amount of people you can have in a ring. For years, I've wanted to do a traditional 4-on-4 Survivor Series match, and I guess due to motion capping or whatever, I don't know. I'm not really a video game tester or part of the industry, just looking at it from a fan perspective. But I would really like for them to be able, the capacity to have 8 people face off in 4-on-4 matches.
And, people say, well, that's too much to handle. But the Dreamcast could handle 8 or 9.
The PS1 could do it. Why can't, the new generation?
Well, on Smackdown, they didn't have that many people. Smackdown, it was always, I think you could have 6, but you couldn't have 6 until we got to Here Comes the Pain, maybe. It was a while, and it was the PS2, but it just, when you got games like Call of Duty and all these other games where you have hundreds of people on the screen or whatever, 6 does not seem that unbelievable. And it's not like you're going into new areas and it's changing all the time, like in a lot of these shooting games or whatever kind of games, any kind of games, even Sonic games. It's just a ring and an arena. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't move. It doesn't change. I don't see why you couldn't have
and also,
more people.
one thing I like for them to bring back that was in a part of SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, fighting in the crowd. That was awesome when you went through the barricade and then you had the little set over there and you could break stuff.
And that was introduced in SmackDown 3. Just bring it. You could get in the crowd. and it's gone away. It's just little things. Yeah, because I know what you're talking about. You could go over there and bust some
like speakers and dive off a scaffold, and I thought that was really cool because why would you bring the element of you can break the barricade in WWE 13?
Yeah, but you just walk back.
Yeah, that's it. Like they should just have that area set up where that barricade is. Fans move out the way, and you just have it out in the crowd.
And even if there wasn't anything but a table and a chair, you could still fight there because the area is already there, and you can. I mean, it's there. Why can't you wrestle?
And then also, like it'd be cool if you could dive off the Titantron. Like we've seen it on TV before, or if you could do a special move and powerbomb somebody off the stage or through the stage or spear somebody through the stage. I think a lot of interactive environments will be cool for a wrestling game.
I don't know if it was in Here Comes the Pain. It was one of those games around there. They had some backstage areas that there was like a cage that you could fall through. And they had all this interactive stuff with fire extinguishers and things on the wall and pipes.
And I think you can still do that. They'll have backstage levels where you could do that through a lot of the games. But I just think technology's brought us far. With the advancements in motion capture, you could do that where it'd be a seamless transition without a cutscene going backstage. But I mean that might be a little bit of a stretch. I mean that may be something that they could do to differentiate it in WWE 15. But that's one thing that I like. Also, now WWE 13, the roster was not bad. I think the Attitude Mode was cool. They could have added a few people. It would have been nice to see
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, but I mean that probably might not happen. But I guess a lot of the old ECW guys.
And I mean, I think that's kind of the thing for the future is that the Attitude Era thing was the first one, but in the future they could do other things maybe they could do an invasion angle and let you do your own thing, or I mean a WCW thing. I mean, who knows what they might let you do?
Yeah.
But I like the Attitude Era mode. It was cool.
It was awesome.
They even used some real audio from back in the day and animated it, and that was awesome. Let you relive some really cool matches. It was kind of short, but I liked it. One thing I didn't like about the whole thing overall was in the regular old take your own guy, make your own person, you couldn't really do anything. You can do some matches, you can win some titles, you got some cutscenes. You don't even have as many cutscenes as you had in Smackdown 1, and I didn't like that because it seems like we kind of got gypped on that. It's why couldn't they just throw in some of the something, it's just you just have matches and win a title and then that's it. That's not very interesting. It doesn't make me want to keep playing it because I could just play the CPU or whatever and do the same thing, It wasn't very interesting.
Exactly. And one other thing that I would really like to see, and I bet you a lot of the YouTubers out there would too, the old school Raw set. Raw's War is cool, but the classic Raw with the RAW in the back, that would be awesome to see that. I mean, why don't they have that? Now, the Raw's War set, it was nostalgic and cool. And also, a lot, speaking of arenas, have every WrestleMania arena available.
Yeah.
I think that would be, awesome.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Because there are some WrestleMania sets that were, really cool. WrestleMania 25 was a cool one. Or, even if you could go back to WrestleMania 10, how you had the Madison Square Garden entrance. And real arenas, too. I think that would be cool, too. Because only on certain ones. Now, I know you don't want to get the exact arena down for, every stadium in the country. They go to, what? They have,
Yeah, but, okay. If you want to have Dallas Cowboy Stadium, they've never even been there, but stuff like that, they do it on NBA games, do they not?
Yeah, they do it on all the major sports games.
And if it's a 2K series, I mean, I don't know a lot about this, but it seems like a little bit of importing could happen there.
Yeah, I think probably MSG will be a big one, because WWE has a lot of history with Madison Square Garden, and then the specialized interest, how they do it from the side, and where the crowd is. I think that'd be cool. Just do it for MSG. I think if you could switch that up, have, the old school Raw, the current Raw, and, maybe the Raw from, the one that ran from, 2001 to 2005, basically the Spike TV set.
Yeah.
And do the same with SmackDown, have your current pay-per-views, some past pay-per-views that were pretty cool, In Your House DX or Rock Bottom, stuff like that. And then, all your WrestleManias, maybe a couple of SummerSlams from some time ago.
And like for the creative wrestlers, I know this is a small complaint, but since they've done it in the past, I don't see why they can't do it again. Create your own animations, with the posing, and you could do the same with the story mode where they're doing stuff. Like guy walks to here and kind of program it yourself. But I mean, they don't really do that anymore. I don't really know why. It was something that didn't last very long. I wish that they would kind of update the commentary, because they've been using the same commentary for years, it seems like.
I hope they
That's all I ever get to see of the game is hearing the commentary, trust me.
I just turn it off. Like, it's so repetitive. I mean, it's way better than Just Bring It was, but I mean, it has been kind of the same stuff for a long time.
And with 2K, I know that on NBA 2K, some of the best game commentary. I mean, you actually think you're watching a basketball game the way the commentary is so crisp and current. And I think something like that with WWE, actually like having that as well. I think I get tired of Michael Cole saying even on the game, he says, "Welcome to the weekly episode, longest running weekly episodic series." I mean, I don't want to hear that on the video game. I mean, I hear it enough on Monday nights. Also include Jim Ross in the game too, not just on attitude mode, but have like a 3-man team. Now I do love JBL as a commentator. I think that's really great. And but I like to see Jim Ross in there a little bit too, because he actually makes the games. He's one of the best wrestling commentators, hands down. In fact, that might be an idea for another show, like great wrestling announcers.
Yeah.
But I think like that would be something that's nice to see, like the arena customization, and then doing different things like that. Also, another one that comes to mind is weight detection. There's no way that Rey Mysterio is going to body slam the Big Show. I mean, make it a little realistic.
Well, and they've done that in the past.
In 2007, where you couldn't have...
Because Rey Mysterio would be like, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some weight detection, I think, but it's not anywhere like it was, or at least be able to turn it on and off. That's what I don't get a lot about all of these games, because they're like, well, we didn't really like this, so we took it out. Well, it's like, why can't you give us the option to turn it on and turn it off? If we want to have, like, Lita, like, doing an overhead body press to, like, the Big Show, like, turn it on. And if we want it to be really realistic, be able to turn it off. But
now, this next one might give me some flack, but I don't care. Cut down on the number of divas you put in the game.
You think there's too many divas?
Yeah. Like, put the ones that, I mean, I don't really care if the Bella Twins be in the game, because I never even play with them. I don't really, I mean, not to be chauvinistic, but I don't really play a lot of divas matches.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta kind of look at your demographic here. Like, I mean, have, like, a few, like maybe 4 or 5, but...
Well, I guess they have pretty much the whole roster, don't they?
Yeah.
But not for the guys.
But that make more room for superstars, like a lot of the, like, NXT guys, that maybe...
And they didn't even have the primetime players on WWE 13, did they?
No, not at all.
And that's because they were like hot when the game came out, and then it was like you pick up the game and you're like, oh.
They're not even in there. And I think really staying current, I think the live updates will be really, really good. Like staying current with the current roster. Even guys that aren't on TV that much, throw them in there anyway. We might want to play as them. Like, perfect example, Michael McGillicuddy's in WWE 12, absent from 13, then all of a sudden they bring it back as Curtis Axel. I mean, just, in fact, like, just devise some type of system where they'll have, like, that $20 pass that you buy when the game comes out. Say, hey, if you buy this pass, you get those wrestlers free. I mean, it's just give it back to the consumer. I mean, if somebody's going to take time to put you on as a video game company, I mean, give back a little bit.
I mean, I guess they could maybe do something where it's like, you have bought the game for a year, it costs more or whatever, and you do get new guys coming in. Because like you were talking about with like NBA and all that other stuff, they have updates kind of like that, don't they?
Yeah, if somebody gets traded in the middle of the season, like you update your game, it actually happens.
But so you have to manually change people over. And I mean, I do like how they have the ability for people on the online to make a guy and to make him available. But it's not the same, but at least you got that. You can download people. Yeah. But I just hope that they don't stray away from the way the game handles, because I like the controls pretty much. I like how the moves are done. It's very Smackdown-ish. I would hate for them to like make a drastic change like Acclaim to THQ, although it was different and good in some ways. You know, it was very different. I'd hate for them to put out a new game and it's not Smackdown anymore, you know. But I don't think they're going to do that. Like you said, they got a lot of the same people working on the game.
And so I think if they had, like, the collision detector was a little bit better. And I say, like, you know, I love the control scheme of WWE 13. I liked it in 12 too. But, I mean, they kind of just need to keep that going and then get rid of, like, some of the gimmicky things like, oh, authentic arena sound. Like, the sound on that game was pretty bad.
On 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the crowd cheering is, like, real... I can hear the same thing over and over. I mean, that doesn't bother most people, but, like, I hear it, you know, and the crowd just sounds very repetitive.
Yeah, I would definitely update, you know, the commentary, chants, things like that. Now, I could see the music on the game is actually pretty good. Like, I mean, accurate superstar entrances, themes. You know, I think that's really cool.
And, like, Attitude is an old game, but they had chants for everybody, multiple chants, which is kind of missing. Because they have chants, but you can't hear them. I can't hear them when I'm playing the game. You know, it's not loud. It's not, like, all exciting. It's just, like, I can barely tell what's going on, and the crowd doesn't really react properly. It's like they might be like, woo, when a move happens, but it's not. It's just that WWE games in the past have way better crowd sounds and just sounds in general. But that's for WWE 14. We don't really have any information about anything of the games that are happening. So. But that's just some things that we've been speculating and thinking about that we want to see as fans because, you know, we want to put down the money and we want to get a good game when we do it.
Yeah, but strong DLC. I mean, I don't really care about purchasing moves because the moves should already be in the game.
Yeah, or unlockable,
yeah,
like in the past. Like, you know, you play the game, you get some new moves, you put them.
But like, have a lot of in-game unlockables, like different attires and stuff. Like, focus more on that.
But see, that's what they don't do that no more. Now it's more about like achievements, and I don't care about achievements. I don't know about you. Thing pops up and says you've done 3 pinfalls. I'm like, woohoo! Yeah,
I mean, that's really not big of a deal to me. But I mean, make it at least accurate.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, the current WWE product hadn't been all that great as of late, so
well, see, that's
reflecting that. I don't know.
But we're supposed to get on the game and be able to do anything that we want, you know.
But, you know, I mean, the games have been pretty solid so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not bad games. I think the only WWE game I ever had a complaint about was WWE 2008, featuring ECW. Yeah, I didn't like
the control scheme of 2007. It took me a while to get used to it, but...
And then
I got over it.
Honestly, I think the best wrestling game period is going to be WWF No Mercy. But I think from the next gen platform, I guess as we're coming to the end of, you know, the current run of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, I think the best WWE game would have to be, I'd say SmackDown versus Raw. Well, that was on PlayStation 2, so that didn't count technically. But that was a really good game. Well, you know, Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah.
Definitely was a great one. But I don't know, I guess we could leave that up to the fans to decide, like, what do you guys think was the best game on the next-gen platform from 07 to WWE 13?
13, I don't know, because for me, I guess I'd kind of have to say WWE 13, because 2009 had it was, I liked some things about the story mode, but other than that, I don't know. Like, 13 I just really liked because of the Attitude Era thing. That just really put it over the top because it was something just completely off the wall different than they had ever done before. And, you know, it was like a bold step, and I like that, but...
I don't think WWE 12 was a bad game. Especially, like, one thing I was impressed by THQ, later on as the games progressed, the rosters were getting better and better, and, you know, you had, like, more wrestlers on the roster, and a lot of them were more accurate.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that's something that we still get to see. And so, you know, I think it'd be enjoyable. But, you know, maybe that's an idea for a follow-up show, you know.
True.
When we know more about it.
True. Yeah, once we, learn some things, then I'm sure we're going to be mad and complaining about them. But that's some thoughts for WWE 13. That's what we think. But, yeah, please tell us what you think that should be on the game and everything, because we are just speculating. We've seen what's been on the games and what we've had problems with, but yeah, like you said, we're going to know more as time goes on.
But I would say classic ECW mode with Paul Heyman and Joey Styles' commentary would be
awesome. Boy, that would be awesome. We got to do something with Joey Styles over there. That would be greatness. But yeah, we will see you guys later.